CHTV, and I'm excited to welcome you to this year's Brain Game Finals. We have an excellent match planned for you today with our two finalist teams advancing all the way through a 36-team bracket to this championship round. Let's meet our contestants from Miss Hargrove's team first. Hargrove students, please tell us your names.
Ryan Sharp,
Drew Kim,
Anjali Prasad,
Alan Chen.
Very good. And now let's meet our contestants from the senior TCP team, Airbuds Revenge. Students, please tell us your names.
Grayson Miller, Keith Yang.
Elliot Self.
Perfect. Let's move on to reading the rules before the match officially commences. Here are the rules for this round. This is the final round, so there will be 50 questions total. Questions will be read in order. A student may buzz in. 40 questions. Quick correction. We're getting 40 questions here for the last round. Questions will be read in order. A student may buzz in by clicking their buzzer. The first student to buzz in will have the first chance to answer the question. Students may buzz in at any time. However, the reading of the question, if not complete, must be stopped immediately at that time. Only the student who buzzed in can answer the question. No discussion or consultation is allowed. If there is discussion, the answer will be counted as incorrect. If any student who buzzes in does not begin to state their answer after 3 seconds, it will be counted as incorrect. If the student answers correctly, 1 point will be awarded. If the student answers incorrectly, the other team will be allowed to answer the question. If the question was not originally read in its entirety, the other team may request a full reading of the question. The first student on the team to buzz in will have a chance to answer the question. If a correct answer is given, 1 point will be awarded. If the student who buzzes in does not begin to state their answer after 3 seconds, it will be counted as incorrect. Each team only receives one attempt to answer each question. If neither team is correct or answers correctly, no points will be awarded, the answer will be revealed, and the competition will proceed to the next question. If neither team buzzes in within 5 seconds after the question is finished being read, no points will be awarded, the answer will be revealed, and the competition will proceed to the next question. The team that earns the most points after 20 questions wins the round. If the score is tied after 20 questions, the first tiebreaker question will be read. The team that answers correctly will win the round. If neither team answers that question correctly, additional tiebreaker questions can be used until we have a winner. Do you have any questions? All right, a special thank you to Carmel Senate and CHTV for putting together this event. Now, players, we will begin. Question number 1. This 20th century artist, credited with popularizing the expression 15 minutes of fame after using it in a 1967 interview with Time magazine. Born in 1928, this artist currently has the largest museum in North America dedicated to a single artist housing his works in his hometown of Pittsburgh.
Warhol.
Andy Warhol is correct.
First lines.
Question number 2. This shallow saline lake in the middle island off of Western Australia was first documented in 1802 by British explorer Matthew Flinders, who collected water samples during his voyage on the Investigator. Shaped like a footprint and just 600 meters long, it sits isolated amid a eucalyptus forest with sandy bars separated from the Southern Ocean. The lake's bubblegum hue persists even in...
Pink Lake?
That is incorrect. I'll finish the question. This lake's bubblegum hue persists even in bottles, and its pigmentation is theorized to be caused by a salt-tolerant algae like Dunaliella salina and Halobacteria. Name this naturally vivid pink lake, one of Australia's most striking natural wonders. The answer we were looking for is Lake Hillier. Question number 3. This event was not the first of its kind, having previously occurred in 1643 Connecticut with Alce Young and Goodwife Knapp. But it is regarded as the most well-known mass hysteria event.
Salem Witch Trials?
Salem Witch Trials is correct. Question number 4. The transition to this physical state is predicted by the Navier-Stokes equation when the ratio of inertial force to viscous forces reaches critical threshold known as the Reynolds number. This state is characterized by the formation of eddies and vortex stretching, a process where kinetic energy is transferred from large-scale flows to increasingly smaller scales in a cascade. Name this type of fluid flow commonly experienced and reported to airplane passengers.
Turbulence?
Turbulence is correct. Question number 5. This comedy TV show was cited by former U.S. President Barack Obama as the Obama family's favorite show in a 2011 interview, and is known for addressing topics such as sibling rivalry, parenting, and homophobia. During its 11-season run from 2009 to 2020, this mockumentary-style series won 22 Emmy Awards, notably winning 5 for Outstanding Comedy Series, and its series finale was watched by 7.4 million viewers. Name this ABC TV series, which follows Jay Pritchett and his 2 adult children, Mitchell and Claire, as the 3 navigate their interconnected...
Modern Family.
Modern Family is correct. Question number 6. This 4-time All-Star forward who finished with over 17,000 points and 10,000 rebounds across 16 NBA seasons with 5 teams is... this 6'7" wings was renowned for his elite athleticism. Nicknamed the Matrix, he won a championship with the 2011 Dallas Mavericks after playing...
Dirk Nowitzki.
That is incorrect.
All right.
I'll finish the question. Nicknamed the Matrix, he won a championship with the 2011 Dallas Mavericks after playing only part of his 2008-2009 season in Toronto. Name this player who anchored the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns during a high-octane mid-2000s peak alongside Steve Nash and Stoudemire.
Sean Marion.
Sean Marion is correct. Very good. Number 7. This piece of literature has been adapted into many different settings, notably an Italian retelling in its 1999 film version starring Stanley Tucci and Christian Bale, and a circus setting as it was performed by Carmel High School's theater program in 2024.
A Midsummer Night's Dream.
A Midsummer Night's Dream is correct. Question number 8. This remote sub-Antarctic archipelago lies far southeast of New Zealand in some of the roughest waters in the Southern Ocean and is known for its steep volcanic terrain, strong winds, and isolation. Despite being uninhabitable today, it supports rare wildlife and forms part of New Zealand's outlying island territories. Name this island group, whose name is also the plural term for places on Earth that lie directly opposite to one another.
Pole.
That is incorrect. Airbud?
The McDonald and Heard Islands?
That is also incorrect. We're looking for the Antipodes Island. Question number 9. This overestimated technological disaster was first mentioned in the 1984 book Computers in Crisis by Jerome and Marilyn Murray, but his better known acronym was attributed to Massachusetts programmer David Eddy in a 1995 email. Now a pop culture term used to describe...
Y2K.
Y2K is correct. Number 10. This forearm muscle, absent in a sizable minority of people, is a slender tendon bearing flexor that runs from the medial epicondyle toward the wrist and is often used as a donor source in reconstructive surgery. It helps weakly flex the wrist and tense the palmar fascia, but its main significance is a common anatomical variation rather than a major mover. Name this muscle, which is especially easy to test by asking a patient to oppose the thumb to the little finger while flexing the wrist. All right, it's clear I don't teach anatomy. That is palmaris longus. Moving on to question 11. This NFL player became the lowest drafted for his position to ever start in a Super Bowl in Super Bowl 58, but began his football career in 2015 at Perry High School in Arizona. In college, he played for the Iowa State Cyclones, ending a 4-year career as an all Big 12 quarterback, graduating with a degree in communication studies. Name this NFL quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers who...
McCaffrey.
That is incorrect. Name this NFL quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers who in 2022's was named Mr. Irrelevant after he was selected.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy is correct. Number 12. This British-American rock band was formed in 1967 and was named by combining the surnames of the original drummer and founder of the band with the surname of its bassist, John McVie. The band's first hit came in 1968 with the single Albatross, but wasn't until the addition of singer-songwriters Lindsey Buckingham.
Simon and Garfunkel.
That is incorrect. It wasn't until the addition of singer-songwriters Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks that they reached widespread fame with their 1975 album titled after the band's name. Name this iconic 1970s band known for their highly successful album Rumors.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac is correct.
Yeah, Layla.
Number 13. This mural was commissioned by the Duke of Milan at the time to be painted in the convent of Santa Maria.
The Last Supper.
The Last Supper is correct. Number 14. This narrow shaping lane off Iran's southern coast became a major...
Strait of Hormuz.
That is correct. Very timely question. Number 15. This Yemeni archipelago in the Indian Ocean was designated a UNESCO World... Socotra archipelago is correct. Number 16. During this calendar year, the New Century Financial Corporation filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, serving as an early harbinger of the subprime mortgage crisis. In the tech...
2008.
Ooh, that is not correct. In the tech sector, a keynote from the Macworld Expo introduced widescreen iPod with touch controls that would effectively end the era of the feature phone. While the LHC at Kern saw this final superconducting magnet lowered into place. Name this year of the Great Modernization's end, which saw the release of the first iPhone and the launch of the Android operating system at the beginning of the Great Recession in December.
2007.
2007 is correct. So close.
Bro,
No, I
come
saw
on.
it.
Yeah, it's literally.
Number 17. This candy, originally branded as Marsmen, was created by Frank Galatoli while working as a confectioner at Jarret International. Now produced by Mondelez International, this candy has expanded its branding and is now available as gum, cereal, and Oreo flavor, in addition to its classic fruity and watermelon varieties. Name this popular gummy candy known for its slogan, sour, sweet.
Sour Patch Kids?
Sour Patch Kids is correct. Number 18. This small shrimp is famous for snapping one oversized claw shut so fast that it creates a cavitation bubble.
Pistol shrimp.
Pistol shrimp is correct.
We didn't get our point. Should be seven. Oh, okay.
Everybody's missing one?
Yeah, we got it.
They got it. All right, they got it. Number 19. This card game is known for its house rules that alter its gameplay.
Euchre.
That is a good guess, but that is incorrect. Such as swapping hands with another player or the ability to stack cards on the same symbol on top of each other. Since its original 1971 release, it has been adapted into many different versions with special editions titled Flip, Attack, and H2O that vary slightly from the standard game based on Crazy 8. Name this popular card game in which a player is given 7 cards and must try to discard them all by matching colors and numbers before yelling out the Spanish number.
Uno.
Uno is correct. Number 20. This animated franchise launched its most popular modern iteration as a Friendship is Magic series.
My Little Pony.
My Little Pony is correct. Yeah, Sean knew that one really well. All right. Number 21. This aquatic zone is larger than Tasmania and Victoria combined and stretches 2,300 kilometers long as a home to over 5,000.
Great Barrier Reef.
The Great Barrier Reef is correct. This 1945 novel was written by Eric Arthur Blair and has most recently been adapted into a 2025 animated film featuring the voices of Glenn Close, Seth Rogen, and Stranger Things star Gaten Matarazzo. Featuring characters such as the idealistic Snowball and the ruthless
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm is correct. Number 23, this celestial body is actually a triple star system with the close orbit of 3 stars labeled AA, AB, and B, causing it to appear as a singular in the night sky. Part of the constellation Ursa Minor, known in the US as the Little Dipper, this star is commonly cited as the brightest star in the constellation.
The North Star.
Yes, Polaris, but we will also accept the North Star. That is correct. Number 24, this named location in the southern hemisphere is best known not for its elevation or prominence, but it's known for the extraordinary length of its Maori name, which runs more than 80 characters in its most common form. The term, associated with a hill in the rural region of the Pacific Island nation, loosely commemorates a legendary ancestor with large knees who played his flute to his loved ones at that spot. Locals often abbreviate the name, which is an acceptable answer to this question, but attempt the full name of this New Zealand mount, which remains one of the longest officially recognized place names in the world. We were going to accept Tamata Hill, and I'm not going to even attempt the whole 80-character pronunciation. Moving on to 25. This Swiss tennis prodigy became the youngest...
Federer.
That is incorrect. Good guess. This Swiss tennis prodigy became the youngest Grand Slam singles champion of the open air when she won Wimbledon in 1997 at the age of 16. Soon after, she rose to world number 1 with both singles and doubles while collecting 5 major single slam titles and the calendar Grand Slam in women's doubles for 1998. Name this player who finished with 25 major titles across disciplines before finally retiring in 2017 and faced a devastating loss to Steffi Graf in the 1999 French Open final, in which she left the court in tears.
Navratilova.
No, good guess as well. We were looking for Martina Hingis. Moving on to 26. This artist made her first radio appearance at the age of 10 and was performing at the Grand Ole Opry by 13, where she was introduced by Johnny Cash. She originally wrote one of her biggest hits in 1973 as a farewell to her longtime duet partner, Porter Wagoner. But it gained worldwide fame when Whitney Houston recorded a version of it for the 1992 film The Bodyguard soundtrack. In addition to her songwriting success, she starred in films like 9 to 5 and Steel Magnolia.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton is correct. 27. This brain structure was the subject of the 19th century scientific controversy between Thomas Henry Huxley and Charles Darwin concerning the differences of anatomy between apes and humans. Part of the limbic system, these two identical structures are located deep in the temporal lobes and are damaged by diseases such as Alzheimer's. Name that part of the human brain which shares its name with the mythical fish horse.
Hippocampus.
Hippocampus is correct. 28. This event was sparked by the letter from a gentleman in the city of New York, and it's centered on the refusal of Francis Nicholson to recognize the authority.
XYZ affair.
That is incorrect. It's centered on the refusal of Francis Nicholson to recognize the authority of William and Mary during the fallout of the Glorious Revolution. The namesake leader of this rebellion was a German-born merchant who seized Fort James and ruled the colony for 2 years before he being executed for treason. a conviction that was posthumously reversed by Parliament. Name this 1689 uprising in colonial New York, which reflected the ethnic and class tensions between Dutch settlers and the English administrative elite.
Stuyvesant.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Leisler's Rebellion. Leisler's Rebellion. Moving on to 29. Founded in 1900 by a group of 12 universities, including Columbia and...
Ivy League.
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
Founded in 1900 by a group of 12 universities, including Columbia and Princeton, this non-for-profit organization was created to standardize the chaotic process of U.S. college admissions. While it is most famous for its flagship aptitude test, originally developed by Carl Brigham, and based on the World War I intelligence test administered to soldiers, this organization also maintains the CSS profile for financial aid.
College Board.
The College Board is correct. Number 30. This painting has been parodied in a plethora of pop culture settings, including in episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants, The Simpsons, and movies such as the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Known as one of the most famous American paintings of the 20th century,
American Gothic.
American Gothic is correct. 31. This ocean process was first mapped comprehensively by American scientist Henry Stommel in the 1950s using radiocarbon dating of deep waters to trace their flow paths from the poles. It powers a global conveyor belt where cold, salty water sinks in the North Atlantic and Southern Oceans, spreading along the seafloor.
Gulf Stream.
That is not what we were looking for. Salty water sinks in the North Atlantic and Southern Ocean, spreading along the seafloor before slowly upwelling over 1,000 years in distant basins. Name this circulation driven by temperature and salinity differences, often nicknamed the Great Ocean Conveyor Belt.
The North Atlantic Current.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for the thermohaline circulation. Thermohaline. Moving on to 32. To bypass censorship by the Great Firewall, alternative names for this incident have emerged.
Tiananmen Square Massacre.
Tiananmen Square Massacre is correct. Number 33. This 2001 film was Robert Lutik's feature directorial debut. It was based on a 2001 novel by Amanda Brown Chang, which was in turn inspired by Chang's experience as a Stanford student. Known for its iconic lines such as, "What, like it's hard?" and
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde is correct. Nice job. 34. This process, first proposed by Enrico Fermi in 1949, explains how charged particles can be boosted to extreme energies by repeatedly scattering off moving magnetic irregularities in space. In its simplest form, a particle gains energy each time it crosses a shock or magnetic mirror, which is why the mechanism is central to models of cosmic rays and supernova remnants. Name this astrophysical particle speed-up process, often split into first-order and second-order forms.
Nuclear fission.
That is incorrect.
Orbitals.
Also incorrect. We were looking for Fermi acceleration. 35. This two-way center spent his entire NHL career with the Boston Bruins, where he became a franchise face in the post-Joe Thornton era and set the modern standard for defensive excellence by a forward. A member of the Triple Gold Club, he won the 2011 Stanley Cup, scoring twice, including the series winner in Game 7 against Vancouver, and captured multiple Selke trophies in the league's top defensive forward, ultimately setting the NHL record with 6 wins and 12 straight nominations for the award. Name this Canadian hockey player who also captained Boston from 2021 until his retirement in 2023.
Sidney Crosby.
Good guess? Nope. We were looking for Patrice Bergeron. Moving on to 36. This novel, by the author of the 2019 graphic novel Whitebird, won the 2015 Mark Twain Readers Award and is known for its discussion of themes such as empathy and bullying. Most notably, this book has been adapted into a 2017 film adaptation starring Owen Wilson, Julie Roberts, and Jacob Tremblay as the young male protagonist. Name this novel by R.J. Palacio.
Wonder.
Wonder is correct. They still teach that in middle school? Yeah, I still read it here. Number 37. This specific endeavor was authorized by the Company of Scotland and utilized nearly 20% of all the liquid capital in the Scottish Kingdom at the time.
Panama Canal.
That is incorrect. Utilized nearly 20% of the liquid capital of the Scottish Kingdom at the time, leading to a national financial collapse when it failed. The settlement, located in the Isthmus of Panama, was intended to create an overland passage between the Atlantic and the Pacific, but was abandoned due to Spanish blockades and outbreaks of yellow fever and malaria. Name this disastrous colonial project of the 1690s, whose massive debt essentially forced the Scottish Parliament to agree to the Act of Union 1707 with England.
The Darien Scheme?
Say it again.
Darien Scheme?
Darien Scheme is correct. Nice job. 38. This basketball player was given his nickname by his mother after he flipped over a coffee table while watching an episode of the Flintstones, noting a resemblance between him and the Flintstones characters on Natural Strength. Selected as the 14th overall...
Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo is correct. 39. This American singer skyrocketed to fame as a contralto voice in the 1960s folk rock group, contributing to hits like California Dreamin' while establishing...
The Mamas and the Papas?
It's close, but we were looking for the name of the actual person. While establishing herself as a charismatic presence. After the group's breakup, she launched a solo career highlighted by her top 10 smash Dream a Little Dream of Me, cementing her as one of the defining female vocalists of the decade. Despite persistent rumors about her death, sparked by a chocolate-related urban legend that she debunked, she passed away suddenly in London at the age of 32, leaving behind a legacy of powerful pipes and bohemian style. Name this musical icon.
Aretha Franklin.
Good guess. We were looking for Cass Elliot or Mama Cass, who was in the Mamas and the Papas. Very good. Number 40. Last question. This figure skater was born in Clovis, California.
Alyssa Liu.
Alyssa Liu is correct. Which brings our final score to Hargrove 19 and Airbud 11. So Hargrove is our winner. We want to thank you so much for participating, and we'll see you next year. We hope all the SRTs participate, and have a great Wednesday, Greyhounds.
Mr. Paradise. Mr.